Welcome to day 11 of 50 days of Facebook Live. Today I want to talk a little bit to you about my essential oil passion, a little bit about aromatherapy. So last week I talked about vetiver and lavender and how you can use these two oils to really support your family, especially if you have children who have like lots of energy and are super active. Hello, Wanda Smith, good to see you. So last week I talked about the lavender and vetiver, but today I just want to go just a little bit deeper, and I just want to kind of talk on emotional aromatherapy and really why are essential oils like so powerful for our emotions. And did you know that, God has created like different types of plants that will actually produce different emotional responses in us. So just hang with me for 5 minutes here because I want to share with you some of my education on this. So did you know that the fastest way to access the emotional processing part of your brain, which is called the limbic system, is through your sense of smell or through your olfactory nerve, which is right here behind the bridge of your nose? So through smell, through olfaction, we can actually get those little molecules, up our nose. It can send signals to our brain, which will affect our parasympathetic nervous system, our amygdala, our hippocampus. It helps with emotional processing. It helps with that. The parasympathetic nervous system, that has to do with that like fight or flight response, or that like return to rest, and also sense can help us to take information that's in the present and take short-term memory and actually store it in long-term memory. So scents are really powerful when it comes to memory and when it comes to emotions. So I love what God did. Like, God has created these powerful substances that can be found in nature that you can use to, either perk yourself up, to bring calming, to bring settling, to like bring grounding, to help you like focus, to promote an atmosphere where you feel energized or you feel like clarity, things like that. And yeah, I know, Chris, you're like, I need that. So all of us need, how many of you guys are like a 10 emotionally every single day, and you're just like completely stable and don't need any help at any time? I mean, if you're a woman, you can't put your hand up there because, we are cyclical creatures and there are times when we need help. And ladies, get your lavender, get your clary sage, because they will help you like certain times of your cycle. But so emotional aromatherapy. Okay, so essential oils are God's medicine. He talks about the leaves of the tree are for healing. In the Bible, it talks about the tree of life in Revelation 22, the leaves of the tree. It talks about it bearing fruit every month and the healing. It's also mentioned in Ezekiel about the leaves being for healing, but it's not just the leaves. It's the leaves of the tree. In some cases, it's the bark of the tree, the sap of the tree, the fruit of the tree, the flowers of the tree. So many different, the roots. I talked about vetiver last week. Vetiver is a root that grows in the ground. So of course, vetiver is gonna, have more of a grounding effect than an uplifting effect, because it's a root. It helps you be rooted and to be grounded, And so I just want to just quickly touch on 4 classifications of essential oils. So we have citruses, so that those essential oils would come from the peel of the citrus fruit. We have woods. So actually, first of all, citruses. Some examples, lime, wild orange, lemon, and also grapefruit. So these are just some examples of citrus fruits. So citruses are known as uplifting. They're the happy oils. So if you are needing to promote uplift, energizing, happy, it's like, think of it like citruses. You pick them from a tree, you reach up, you reach up to pick the fruit. That's how you can remember, okay, it's uplifting, And so what they do is they cold compress the rinds of the fruit. They extract the essential oil, which, I'm only talking about the emotional benefits of the like uplifting, but also so many different cleansing benefits and, areas that they can be used medicinally and to promote healing and support health. So citruses, uplifting, happy fruits. So if you're down, you're, just feeling like maybe it's a gray, overcast kind of day and you just want to bring some mood support into your home, or maybe you got some grumpy kids hanging around your house, get like the grapefruits and the lemons and the wild orange, the limes, those kind of fruits, and diffuse them in your home to lift up the atmosphere, okay? So citruses, uplifting. Next, woods, wood oils. They're very grounding. So what are some examples? So cedarwood, sandalwood, Siberian fir, copaiba. So these are all woods. They either come from the bark or from a resin, or like copaiba is actually like a sap that you kind of tap out of a tree. The trees they come from Brazil. So it's they tap the trees for the copaiba just like you would for like maple syrup. So, but they're really grounding. So what do you think of when you think of trees? Or just think of that feeling that you get when you go for a walk through a forest, when you go on a hike, and just think of like cedarwood, Siberian fir. Think of how it feels when you go through a forest and you just breathe in and you just smell creation, and you smell the wood and you smell the tree and you smell the needles and all that. Like, it's grounding. So those oils are great, when you just feel like you just need to be grounded and just like settled and you want to promote that kind of atmosphere in your house. So use wood oils. So next group, there's just two more that I'm going to talk about, even though there are more different classifications. Mints. So people think of peppermint. So naturally, peppermint was my very first essential oil that I ever used. And it was so powerful. I was like, wow, this is like a miracle drug, except it's not a drug. Peppermint, Japanese peppermint, spearmint. I love spearmint. And spearmint has a very unique kind of scent. And then there is bergamot mint, which is a nice, like, softer kind of scent than like the peppermint. Or we have a super mint blend that takes all four of the mints and puts them together. So what are mints good for? Well, if you need a wake-up call, so we can use our oils aromatically, topically, or internally. So yeah, you can diffuse it. It really promotes alertness and focus and energizing. So like if you're in your, you just had lunch, maybe you're trying to work, maybe you're working from home. Sometimes, because sometimes our home is our rest place. And so sometimes it's hard to get motivated when our rest place is also our workplace. So like wild orange and peppermint, and that is a great motivating blend because you got the uplifting of the citruses, but then also the focus and the alertness from the peppermint. Or, you know what, if you're really feeling sleepy, just take a drop of that peppermint in your hand, put on your thumb, touch it to the roof of your mouth. It will like open up your airways. It'll just help to make you feel more alert, more awake. All right, last one I want to talk about is florals. So I already talked about lavender last week. Lavender is a floral. And Tina, I didn't catch your message. It just popped up. I just saw your message briefly. It popped up on my screen and you said something about my middle name, Rose. And I'll have to go back to it. But I think it's funny because I did pick Rose as one of the florals. There's tons of florals, but like florals, super calming. Florals, they're precious. They're the precious. The oils come from the petals of the flower. Now, like this rose roller is, the roller bottles are pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil. So these are great, just apply them topically. But the little, how, this is not rose, this is chamomile, but a little 5 milliliter bottle of rose essential oil, which I do not have because it costs close to $400 Canadian. 10,000 roses. 10,000 roses, steam distilled, essential oil, that fragrant aroma, extracted in liquid form to create 1 5 milliliter bottle of rose essential oil. I mean, I think I saw Kayla Lopez on here. Kayla's got a flower business. She does like arrangements for weddings and events. And I think she's got a Valentine's Day promotion coming up. But I mean, Kayla, you know the price, you know the value of a dozen roses, and it is not cheap. Like, they are so precious, and so the floral. So lavender also is a much more affordable floral. And this is the one I diffuse every single night. I've been diffusing. Some people say like, oh, you should switch up your oils, every once in a while. But like, lavender is my bedtime oil. And I don't rarely ever do anything else because it just helps. It helps me so that I don't wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, if I'm honest. I used to always wake up in the middle of the night, every single night. It was just my habit for years until I joined doTERRA, and I was like, oh, I should diffuse lavender. And I was like, oh, I don't wake up anymore. And I noticed if I go sleep in a hotel or I'm out of town staying at a friend's house and I don't have my diffuser with me, I will always wake up in the middle of the night because I don't have the lavender going. And yeah, I love Charity saying, if I can't sleep, I'll take lavender and a gel cap, and it works really well. And that is actually a really good way to use it. And you know what? You can also take it in that form as Charity uses it at nighttime. You can also take it if you're feeling. I'm trying to be compliant and not say the words that, the FDA doesn't like us to say, just so you know. If I feel like I'm stumbling over my words, it's because there's certain words that we're not allowed to say because we're not pharmaceuticals. But if your emotions are not good and you're just like feeling in a low place and you need some like support to like take some lavender in a gel cap or just a couple drops under your tongue instead of taking like an Ativan or something like that. And then another one, I didn't even know that this last one I'm going to mention, and then I'm going to transition, do a little bit of prophecy. I didn't even know ylang ylang was a thing. But this is one of my favorite essential oils. Ylang ylang. So good. It's one of the most beautiful. I actually like it better than lavender, even though I use lavender a lot. But so just think of that, like different types of oils, depending on what is the desired emotional like support that you want to bring to yourself, to your family, what time of day it is, So maybe you don't want to be diffusing the lemon and the wild orange and the uplifting things and the peppermint right, at your bedside table as you're going to sleep. That's more like when you're in focus and work and productivity kind of mode. But if you're like, it's bedtime and I want to wind down, or I want to wind my children down and just bring calm and relaxation, then you can, add a couple drops of lavender and a couple drops of cedar wood into their bath water, or the lavender and the copaiba, and just to promote that kind of like restful environment. But I love essential oils, and I just love it because it's God's creation. It's God's creation. It's God's medicine. And these are things that he has, given us that are natural that we can use to support our bodies. And I just love that with doTERRA, that you are always 100% of the time getting 100% pure essential oil. And what doTERRA does in the essential oil industry and the level of like clinical trials and studies and testing, they even did studies where they had our lavender essential oil certified as pharmaceutical grade because we're so pure and we're so consistent in the chemical. We even will get lavender from different countries and different places and put them together so that we can get the best lavender essential oil. But what doTERRA does in the market is unlike any other company out there. And I know everybody might think it's marketing and gimmicks and just say, but like doTERRA really is the best. And there is a reason why, even though they're a younger company than some of the other leading competitors, that they are number one in the industry. And so it's like, what do you want to use on your family? Like that which is safe, that which is not going to be synthetic, and that each time it's going to be exactly what we're promoting it to be. All right. And I had a great one-on-one with someone who reached out with me this week, and we were just talking about doTERRA, and I was sharing a little bit with them about essential oils in the business. And I want to throw it out there. If there is anyone, if you're listening to this and you're like, maybe you're already an essential oil lover, but you've just used them for your family, but you're like, maybe you've been hearing these messages about entrepreneurship and you're kind of like, I don't, I'm like the widow who wants to get the oil, but I don't have any buckets to catch the oil. If these things have been like stirring in your heart, I'd love to hop on a Zoom call with you, or even if you don't know about essential oils and you want to introductory start. I'd love to meet with you for even just half an hour and just chat with you a little bit about the ways that they can serve, you can use them to serve you and your family, because it's not just about spiritual health, it's about physical health and emotional health. And we need to get healthy spirit, soul, and body. And we got to steward what God has given us, because we only get one life and we get one body, and we need to be strong and we need to take care of it so that we can fulfill the destiny that God has for us. All right, I am gonna transition here a little bit. Hello, Tina Marie, Hansel, Jill, Charity, Cassidy, Mikula, Janice, McLeod, Maines, Marlene Hood. Hello, Denise Rios from Puerto Rico. Chris Sheard. Hello, Millie Hale. All right, Millie, I think are you South Africa? Pauline Roy, good to see you. All of you guys, thanks for tuning in. I love that Tina's saying, I used to love using peppermint, orange, and lemon in your preschool. Oh, you ran a preschool. Oh, that's so cool. I really wish that, workplaces are so hypersensitive about like fragrances and places, but I wish I could diffuse essential oils in my ultrasound room. I am not allowed to. But the reason a lot of places are super hypersensitive about fragrances, because a lot of the fake stuff, it causes allergies, it causes people, I'll get headaches even just walking past some of the like perfume stores in, like if I go to a mall. And I used to wear perfume. I used to be that person who had perfume that was, so much that it was offensive to the people who were sensitive. So I used to be that person. And as soon as I've like really transitioned and got a lot of the toxins and fragrances and things out of my life, now I notice my body is like, doesn't want anything that's fake, that's synthetic. And so, yeah, it's really awesome. Yeah, and Janice is saying, yeah, I use them at the clinic that I worked at. Yeah, so they're really like, whether they're for work or home, it's super powerful, but they're much more versatile, and there's so many different ways that you can use them than people realize, like, even taking internally, actually right now, because I'm doing a cleanse. I'm on day 11 of, day 11 of Facebook Live. I started my cleanse. This is day 14. I'm almost halfway there. But part of it is drinking water with lemon essential oil in it, because lemon is really good for your cleansing organs, just helps like with your liver and kidneys and all that. You want to just make sure when we're doing a cleanse and we're detoxing that our exit pathways, like our liver and kidneys and our bowels also are like functioning so that all the things can be flushed out of our system. Who wants to go the long haul? Like, who wants to go the long haul? Or, be the alternative is not good, and there's so many things in our environment, whether it's in our food, in the air, in, just in our things that we put on our bodies, in our cosmetics, our personal hygiene products, so many things that are just not good for us. And so doTERRA does a lot of like natural shampoos and conditioners and whole foods based supplements and all these things, because it's all about getting the best quality ingredients, because we want to steward these bodies, which are the temple of the Holy Spirit, so we can go the long run. We want to go the long run. Nobody wants to be cut short because they don't have the energy to go the distance. Awesome. All right. Let me just give a little scroll through and see. Drop me a comment if you are still watching or you just hopped on, because I want to see who's still here. Okay. Sherry Normore. Sherry. Yeah. Yeah, Sherry, I see, and I really see the Lord, I can see him laying, like it's like he's laying out, I see this like path, almost like this breadcrumb trail that he's like laid out for you. And he is like, he's just saying, I am leading you. Like sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm not sure exactly, because I don't know what the end result is. I don't know like fully where I'm going, but it's like this sense of he's like, I'm leading you, like one step at a time, like you're stepping out. And I just see you in this place of like really seeking the Lord, and he's just like, he keeps showing you, he shows you this step and he shows this step. And I really feel like this is just a season where you're also learning to trust your instincts and like really going with like that going with your gut, like going with your discernment. You have a really sharp spirit. And I just feel like the Lord, the Lord is, he's leading you in a way that's that's new, it's different, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but I just see like as you continue moving forward and you just continue, eat one step at a time, it's like things are gonna open. I see things are gonna open up in the next, it's like the next 2 or 3 months. I can see a shift where all of a sudden it's gonna feel like, oh, okay, like I have a longer distance vision. And I just see like it's a perspective change that he's going to get you, but he's really working out something like so beautiful, you know, with you and him in this place of intimacy, because, you know, you're really fine tuning your hearing, and you're really fine tuning some of your just like listening to him in this season. And as things open up and the vision becomes more clear, a big part of that is actually going to have to do with discovering who your people are, discovering your who, discovering your call, discovering your community. And I feel like there's going to be some beautiful, it's not that it's necessarily a change in the relational dynamics, but it's going to be almost like a aha, like the lights come on kind of moment. And you're going to realize like, oh, this is okay. This is really, really it. And so just this solidification of some things that you've been kind of feeling in your heart. And, you know, it's going to be a strengthening time for that like sense of like purpose, because I really see in your heart where you're, you know, you've been really going after him and you've been really diligent and like with the inflow. And I just see like there's been the inflow and you've been going after the inflow and seeking him. And there's been a lot of inflow and pouring, but you have this like desire in your heart to have more outflow. And so I feel like that's what it is in that next 2 to 3 months. There's going to be like that increase in the outflow where you are going to find like, oh, this is where like I can release what God has given me. And some of the things, some of that fire, like there is a fire that's on the inside of you, and it's gotten a little bit, it's gotten hotter, like it's gotten hotter. The heat's been turned up. And so there's a little bit of an unsettled, holy agitation that's good. And it's propelling you in the right direction. And so, I don't know, I just feel to encourage you. You're doing great, Sherry. Keep going for it. Yeah. All right. Next is, Dylan Merritt. Dylan. Yeah, Dylan. Whew. Yeah, Dylan, you have such a strong seer's anointing, and I see the Lord really awakening it, and you are going to be seen more and more into the realm of the Spirit. And I see this like moment that God is it's like you're on this journey, and I see this future moment that is almost like you're moving, like you've aligned yourself to move toward it. But it's like I see this future moment of encounter where God is going to open up there's a door that God is opening for you, and you're going to walk through it. And it's like, it's a door. It's not necessarily a door of natural opportunity, but it's actually a door that is really going to awaken something inside of you that is going to help you to step into a new level of confidence in like who you are. And it's kind of like, I see as you like go through the door, it's like from the Clark Kent to the like Superman kind of like transformation that's like going on there. And it's like, you know, because you've been very like undercover and just like that Clark Kent, like really, but you know, it's partly been that you've not fully understood the fullness of who you are and what's on the inside, but like God is unpackaging this. He's really unpackaging this for you in the season. And I just see, you know, as you're opening up more and more and releasing your gift out, it's like, I actually just see, because your gift is so strong, and your gift is a door opener. Your gift is going to make way for you. And I actually see like really some people, you know, people who are going to accept you before you exploding your gift, then all of a sudden being like, oh, wow, I'm so like grateful that like God has connected me with this person because you are a blessing. And so it's like, I just see like, you know, like you got a little bit like this little bit undercover, but it's going to come to a point where, you know, people are going to see and they're going to know, and it's going to be like, this guy is going somewhere, and, you know, how can I serve him? How can I be connected with him? And God is really, this is such a season where he is girding you up. He is strengthening you. He is like showing you that, you know, that there is a resilience in you that you didn't fully know was in there. And so I just bless you just to keep stepping out. And I just, do it afraid. I just hear that phrase, like, just do it afraid. It's like the call, what God spoke over, Gideon, mighty man of valor. And I hear say that to you, Dylan, mighty man of valor. You are rising up in this hour. You are rising up and you are taking your place. And I see there is going to be like a word that comes out of your mouth like a fire, and it's going to cause even the mountains to shake and crumble. And I just feel that over you, like that scripture we were talking about mentorship last night, where it says like, Jesus cursed the fig tree. And it says like, if you had such faith that even if you would speak to the mountain, it would be moved and cast into the sea. Dylan, you are a man who is going to step in mountain moving faith. And you will see breakthrough. You will see miracles. You will shift atmospheres, double for your trouble. God is bringing all things into alignment. The past is finished, but I just see this acceleration, and he's bringing you into your destiny. In these next 2 years, you're going to find a lot of acceleration and alignment. Yeah. So bless you. Yeah. Bless you, Dylan. Awesome. Hello, Janet Jacobs from South Africa. Michael Erickson from California. Yeah, Mountain Moving Faith. Mountain. Tracy McDonald Lambert. Dwayne Clugston. Hello, Tracy. Tracy McDonald. Tracy. Yeah. Yeah, Tracy. I have to look away because I'm getting texts right now, and the texts are throwing me off. Just so you know, I forgot to silence my notifications. Tracy, wow, I see the Lord. He is putting that crown on your head in this season. The crown, it's almost like I can see where you've had the crown and you've cast it at his feet, and you've had the crown and you've cast it at his feet. And just you've postured yourself in that place of humility of like, oh Lord, I just take everything, just take everything that you've given me and, for your glory, like you had that. Okay, God, I want to glorify you. But I almost see this shift. He's like, okay, Tracy, you've cast the crown at my feet. Like that's great. This crown is for you to wear on your head. And so there's something of, where he's wanting to bring you. And as part of coming out from underneath some of the religious Canadian false humility, atmosphere that we got going on here, and into that place of your true regal authority as the queen. And it's as you see, and I actually feel like there's a prophetic act for you in this, Tracy, where it's maybe, I don't know if you need to take some construction paper and make a crown, or you need to go to the dollar store and get yourself a crown. But I feel like there's something in you getting a crown and putting it on your head and walking. And even if it's in your house and just stepping in, it's a sign of yes, I will wear this and I will step in. And so I just see I see you stepping into it, but sometimes it's there's these invitations where when we do a prophetic act, it's something we do in the natural that really empowers it spiritually. And it's really going to shift things because it's going to cause, I see you standing up straighter. I see you walking differently. I see you carrying yourself differently. And I even, I just see things, it's there's this protection around you. So things that in the past were able to penetrate and to be able to poke through, because God has set a garrison around you and there's so much protection, you're noticing that your heart is not triggered and it's not touched by some of the things that used to be able to touch it. And so I just bless you to walk in this new level of strength. And I just am reminded of the scripture says she laughs with, she's a woman of, I can't remember, strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. And I just see that, Tracy. It's laughing, no fear of the future, and walking forward in your identity as who you are as the royal daughter. It's God has he's been layering foundations, levels of identity in you. And I just see it's they've been solidifying. And it's I see it's a good work that he's done. And it's this is another level. It's it's a promotion, another level of authority, another level of invitation. And with it comes just that picture of seeing the Father as having the, either the scepter extended out to you so that the queen can come in and speak to the king. But also I see this thing of even like having the scepter put in your hand, and it's a stepping into your authority in a level where you realize like, okay, I can bind things, okay, I am binding things on earth and they're going to be bound in heaven. Or you're going into the heavens and you're binding things in the heavenly and you're finding them bound on earth. And I just see this real like, it's a real deep revelation of like your seatedness in Christ. And I see you going in and out of the realms of like, up into his presence, into that, binding things, and then seeing things shift in the natural. And then it's just beautiful. So you're stepping into it. And it's just such a beautiful season of like, it's just a beautiful part of your journey and your process and this place where God has brought you to. So I know I just celebrate you in that. And yeah, rise up, go get your crown and put it on your head and do your prophetic act. Tracy's one of my mentorship group students. So, I can instruct her to do things like that. We'll see if she listens or not, but hello, Christelle Coates from South Africa. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to sign off. I've been on for about half an hour. And yeah, I got Emerging Prophets gift training coaching in about 45 minutes. I got to hop on that. And yeah, so I'll be here tomorrow for day 12. Thanks for tuning in. And again, if you're interested in any of the things that I was talking about, essential oils or your, or natural health, or even just the entrepreneurial side of it, and you'd like to hop on a Zoom call with me even for 30 minutes and just have a little chat about what that could possibly look like, I'd love to connect with you. All right, guys, have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day.